Hi, everyone, and welcome to Espresso PD. This is if you want to learn some new tips and strategies and tools to support your students, but just don't have time. Well, I got you. You have 10 minutes? Join me, and today we're going to focus on comprehensible input. Let's check this out. So looking at this screen here, there are some multiple areas that we can really talk about when it comes to making your lessons comprehensible. Specifically, I want to focus on explain, and really the idea of clear expectations of the tasks that you're requiring your students to do. And I really want you to think about that. Like, how do you know if you're really clear? How do we know unless our kids are asking, can you please repeat that? Can you please clarify that? But a lot of times our students won't. And so right now, it's sometimes even hard to gauge even body language if our students are not putting on their video. So we really need to make sure that when they're with us, we're doing a really good job of explaining the things that need to get done. And when they're not with us, that there's a way for them to really get those clear explanations one more time. So here's some ways that you could think about doing that. Again, thinking about, having pictures that will show what to do with maybe a simple explanation. So let's look at the slide here. The idea of modeling. Yes, if you're going to ask them to do something, show them. Never, ever assume that they know what to do. Like, for instance, how do they know that on this slide, there's actually this picture where it says Mrs. Mendoza's ELD daily task? How do they know that you want them to click on it? We can't assume. I've worked with lots of teachers and administrators and students, and really, you can never take that for granted. So really quick would be an explanation. Say, so students, today when we're looking at this page, as you can see, I have here the directions that you're going to be clicking on, and I'll show you that in a minute, but I'm also going to be talking about this picture here. That's actually a slide that I want you to click over, and it'll take you to a new link. So you need to explain even just something that we may assume our students or participants know. So let's look at the directions. We usually have directions, and here I have a click to see with translation. I could have just embedded all of the directions there, but I wanted to show you this really cool thing that you could actually, a resource that you could actually start using in your classroom. So simply going to googletranslate.com, and instead of writing your directions on the slide that you had or a document that you had, add them here. And here I'll say, and I can write them in English, and then I have it here ready to be translated in Spanish. But our students, we know we have multiple languages. The students can actually change the language to fit their needs. And this is really for every student there, and they can click on and just have it ready for them to go. So again, they can read it in English, or they can listen to the directions.
1. Explore Mrs. Mendoza's daily tasks. 2.
Right? And then, of course, they can read it in their L1, or they can play it as
1.
well.
Explore las tareas diarias de la señora.
Because we cannot assume, that everyone's a reader. And I know that Google Translate is not always the best, but it is really helpful. And what a great place to be able to just embed it in your slides. So let's go back to that. See, again, I could have just had it all written here, but I added a link to take them directly to Google Translations, where I already have that for them in English, and then they can choose all the different translations. That's really cool place. And you want to see how to do it? It's pretty easy. So I can go here. Let me go to google.com. Google Translate, excuse me. All right, Google Translate. And instead of typing it here, I want to actually go to the website itself, googletranslate.com. And so it takes me to this document here. And maybe I could say something like, maybe review the slide templates with your team during your small group time. Okay. Now I know Spanish and I can decir revise la plantilla de deportiva con su equipo durante el tiempo de su grupo pequeño. You know, sometimes they may, it's really academic. It's Spanish, but it is getting to the point. So once I have that there, I'm going to take the link right here at the top. I'm going to copy this link. I'm going to take this back, and maybe I could add it right here. I'm going to add a text box, and I'll just embed it here, and then I'll write again, directions, and then click to see translations. And then if you're using this often, your students will, know what that means. But I still like to write everything. And I'm really big on that because the more that students see language being repetitive and seeing it over, it sticks with them. So that's how they're learning new words, new vocabulary words, and applying meaning to that. All right, so I got that paste and I apply it. And there you go. That's how you embed a Google Translate for your explanation. So again, we're focusing on making lessons comprehensible, and that's something that they could do on their own. But I really want you to think about some other pieces here as well. In this slide, I have an audio embedded, and this one was done with Screencastify. So the kids, again, you want to tell them to.
Hi, welcome to Choice Board Time. Today, you are going to be able to select from different activities.
I'm going to stop right there. And really how I created this again was going to Screencastify, and I have that free. And instead of playing where you can see my videos, and you can see me right now, I just hide the video. And then at the end, where I am going to actually get to the point where I get to choose how to download, I'm going to download audio only. And then it just gives me an icon automatically. That's it. Another thing that I would want you to think about using, again, seeing this screen and knowing that I want them to go to another site. Do not assume that people know to go there. Adding a simple icon like here, this one below, where it says click here. And so that is just a simple shape that I inserted, and that was just here in my Google Slides, insert, and I can do a shape, and there's tons of little shapes here. This one looks like a button, and I just embedded it right here, and then you could do something like click here. And then you definitely want to fill it with a color that maybe that you want them to be able to notice, and then you could actually embed a link as well. To take them there. So that's another way to continuing the kids that, supporting students who you cannot assume that they know what these links or how to move on to the next page. So let's continue to this one piece right here. Again, we're sticking to the idea of making your lessons comprehensible even when you're not with them. And so if you want them to see something new and do something, and it's going to be something that you've already modeled, I would definitely model this with them. And then I would show each of the slides of how to use these customized choice board. So this I would work with them. But I want you to see that you can also embed a video. And this video would be me just going over using Screencastify, how to model, and I embedded it in a slide as well. And it takes them, it's a
We are ready
video.
to begin your choice board. This next slide is going to say, get your ticket.
It's really powerful for you to continue to really teach them even when you're not there. And that's with being very clear with your expectations by embedding multiple resources for them to review with you. Okay, everyone, so we just went over 3 things when we're talking about explaining, besides being online and live, making sure that your slides are clear, that you're explaining things, what they need to do by clicking, because we never assume they know what those buttons mean. There's a great way to add a translation to your slides using Google Translate. Again, modeling to click on different icons. And then you want them to, maybe you want to embed audio using Screencastify. And of course, you want to, if possible, go ahead and embed a video, a tutorial on how to complete a lesson that you've recorded using Screencastify and saving it on the slides. Big time. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me today at our Espresso PD. And I can't wait to hear from you. If you want to talk more about this topic, look for the link and join me live, and we'll continue the conversation on Espresso PD. Nice talking to you, and have a great day.